Joining us now is Dr. Timothy Quinn, family physician and board-certified obesity specialist. Thank you for being here. What is the reaction within the medical community when the motto in medicine is usually do no harm? Some saying this pick, although not surprising, is concerning.
Right. I have been provided the privilege of providing health care in my home state of Mississippi for over 20 years. And I've personally observed the impact of external influence. Whenever, especially during COVID, that external influence has been a political agenda to either decrease vaccination efforts through defunding or demotivating individuals or organizations, there's always been decreased healthcare grades and increased deaths. That's not only here in Mississippi, but that's in any state in our nation or anywhere in the world in which we live.
How do you feel about the head of HHS having no medical background? And should it be someone whose background is in science and medicine?
Not just me, but the entire medical community have been very concerned that, especially during the COVID pandemic, this is a time that our United States of America was tested with a very difficult health situation, and we lost a lot of lives, but we got on the offense and we started saving lives because we educated ourselves. But one of the biggest problems was there was a lot of leadership that were making decisions that were not research proven, fact-based. That's why it's so important that anybody that has leadership in healthcare relies on fact-based information, and it's more likely if that person is a healthcare provider.
RFK Jr. has said he's not going to take away anybody's vaccines, and he said he's never been anti-vaccine, but he wants to make sure that the scientific safety studies and efficacies are out there and people can make individual assessments. What worries you most based on some of the things he has said publicly about vaccines and other health topics?
Well, what worries me, and not just me, but I've had a discussion with a lot of my colleagues in the medical community, is the person's actions in the past. A person's actions and what they say in the past has a very high probability of impacting their decisions in the future. That's why in the healthcare field, we look at what's called the history. We look at the history of what that person has said and what that person has done, and then that helps us come to a conclusion of what we think or what we anticipate that they might do in the future. If a person has been not encouraging as far as vaccines in the past, then there's concern that they might not be encouraging of vaccines in the future. But vaccines, as we saw during the COVID pandemic, put us on the offense. The minute people started getting vaccinated, that's when the death rate went down. People started developing the antibodies. If they contracted COVID, there was a higher probability they could fight it off, even if they had compromised immune systems, those that were elderly, those with chronic medical conditions, and lives were saved. So this is something that we're really gonna push for in the medical community, and we're gonna be very hopeful and encouraged that people will continue to get vaccinated and there won't be as much pushback on the vaccine so that we can save lives.
Yeah, take the ambiguity out of the science. Dr. Timothy Quinn, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.